Hi guys, good afternoon. We have Chandana who's joining in today from Hyderabad. Chandana is a creativity person. She's more into script writing. She does drama. She's into dubbing and book writing. She's also into management skills. She loves fundraising for good causes, which she really loves. She finds it interesting. Then she does sponsorship and fundraising. And yeah, she would like to drive a business which is of her area of interest, which is more into art and sustainability. That's her area of passion. But before that, Chandana, thanks for joining in. It's an honor to have you here. I believe this is like your first live show, and
Yes.
we got the opportunity to grab it. And yeah, we would. I mean, maybe you can tell our friends how your journey started. What are the challenges you had? But you're one passionate person who, instead of giving up, want to do more, trying to do a lot with whatever you have. So how is this all possible? And what's encouraging you to do all these? And it's nice that we have people like you in the society who are doing something different, something which is quite motivational to common people like us who have everything in life but still thinking what to do.
Thank you first of all for all the kind words. But I would say that I am very fortunate to have a lot of nice people like you around me. Uh, I don't know where the motivation really came from, but I would say that I have this interest to do something different. And creativity is something that can be very unbound. It doesn't limit a person. So I think that is where the interest started. I have been into script writing ever since my childhood. And at the same time, I've also been doing a business. It's called Sugunakriti Selections for the
Mhm.
past 7 years now. It's an Opada silk sarees handloom business. Um, we've been into event management, and that's where the sponsorships and fundraising comes into picture. And of course, dramas. It was never something that I really thought of. Any of these things, I never really thought of doing them because, um, when I came to Hyderabad, I was just 12 years old, and people would ask me, MPC or BIPC? So that was the question always, and I really didn't know what these things meant at that time. So, but very soon I found myself getting into this, of course, very relevant rat race, and became a software engineer. But when things had to change, then yes, I started to think of other things as well. So that's where it came from, and I think one very big. I would say my guru is my father, Professor Bhimashankaram Pochiraju. So I think from him I really used to get amused watching him really live the art of living. So Ravi.
Nice. So, you had this issue where you couldn't, see after like around 20s, you started, this particular, I would say, vision issues. So after that, were you, I mean, did this immediately start saying that, yes, अब मुझे कुछ करना है, or did it take some time?
No, I don't think any of that really mattered at all. If it had mattered, then it would not have been like this. So I think, I always keep telling myself that I may not be able to see, but I can show. So I think that's what matters. Um, I think everybody has their set of problems, so I don't think it really matters. If not this, it would have been something else. So that doesn't matter at all. No.
But how do you teach drama? I mean, like, when you're teaching kids and people that this is the way the script has to run, and this is the way you have to enact. How is it possible to see how they're doing?
So basically, first of all, before we sense what the other person is doing, we have to have a very clear vision of what we want. So to write any story, it takes me about 1 to 2 years for any drama. Of course, there have been moments where in pressure I've had to write scripts even in 2 to 3 weeks, and God's grace and with a good team, they turned out to be really good. But I would say that what I really do is the first thing is I don't know how, but I have a way of sensing whether everything is going on well or not. Small intricacies are very important to ensure that a scene really looks realistic. While we do this script writing or dubbing or screenplay or direction, or when we I have to enact every character initially by myself. So I really, from my childhood, I used to like observing people. Of course, not to the extent that I would intrude into their privacy, but watching vendors, trying to sell something at a railway station, or somebody is running to catch a train, or watching somebody unload goods from a lorry standing on the road, watching them, and or probably just sitting at a doctor's chamber and watching a couple, wondering whether the doctor would say something about their child's treatment. So there's an emotional connect that gets formed when we start observing people. I think that emotional connect has always continued. Um, and that probably gives me the sense of understanding whether things are happening the right way or not. Of course, for every scene in my drama, I have wonderful scene in charges who are there to ensure and give me the correct assistance at times. But I have my own way of understanding, because if I want to improvise, I need to understand it myself. But I have coordinators and in charges at every juncture, not because of my situation, but because every work needs decentralization. So that's how it goes on. It's been going on right now for the past 6 years, Ravi, and each drama has about 40 to 65 characters. So it's fun to connect with all of them. From the age 5 to 73, we've had actors of all age groups.
Wow. I thought it's only kids who are participating. So you have participants from different age groups. That's nice. So, how do you gather them? Like, let's say there is you planning an event, and, a couple of months later you have an event coming up and you want to do this drama. So, how do you scout for these artists saying that, hey, you would play this role? Okay, you are a kid, I want you to play the role. So, how do you scout for these people,
So
artists?
that's why people say that, Chandana, you're dangerous. When Because when people talk to me, when I just casually meet them, I just start saying that, oh, long back when I met you, I thought your voice would be really good for a demon.
Okay.
So that's where I think when I talk to people, there is a compartment inside probably, which always keeps thinking maybe this person is good for this character, or maybe this person is good for dubbing for this character. And when we talk to a lot of people, or we get to know about their talents, then we get to know in which way they can be really good volunteers or organizers or coordinators. Because it's not just the acting, it's about I have a very clear cut vision of what the costumes have to be, what kind of settings and props we need on stage to give that look and feel. As I always say, that two things are very important as fundamental aspects for a drama: darsh and sparsh, look and feel. So we need a team. Each time I think the team is about 150 people if it's an event or even a drama. And people who are in these teams hail from different backgrounds. Could be urban, could be rural, could be from very simple walks of life. So I really get that takeaway from these programs, that I get to coordinate activities amongst people who hail from different backgrounds. That is, I think, a very major takeaway. And also, it's not just about incorporating my ideas, it's also about finding the correct time and space for the worthy ideas of all the other members in the team.
So true. So anytime anybody comes in forward in front of you, you basically try to check their tone, their age, and see which character they fit into.
I would say that in terms of dubbing and in terms of finding good volunteers and coordinators, yes, I do that. But in finding good children in terms of actors, I think that is done largely by my volunteers. I do take a final decision because I take a small audition when I call them home. But my volunteers also give me an idea because, for a character, we may need people who have a certain stature, who maybe sometimes it would be very odd if you have a very thin Balram or a very fat Krishna.
Good one.
Yeah, so that's where they definitely come into the picture. I take the initiative. I drive things with my vision. But I think I'm very fortunate that I have very good team members. Some orientation sometimes is required, but I think we have very, very, very experienced and good team members.
So we've been talking, Chandana, for almost 12 minutes, 30 seconds. So what's your opinion? Which role will Ravi fit in, based on my tone, voice?
So you look good
And
for a Mahamantra.
Shilpa, based on my, the structure which Shilpa has demonstrated to you. So what role would I fit in?
Your structure is not demonstrated to me yet.
Yeah, okay.
But I think you will be very nice for the Mahamantri
Mahamantra, like
of a
Shakuni,
king.
yes.
Also, you will be very good as I think if the king has a painter or a poet
Okay.
in his Rajya Sabha, you will be fantastic for that, actually.
Wow. So one is Shakuni, other is a painter. Okay, nice.
I didn't say Shakuni. I said
That's the only character which is like pretty famous. You talk to anybody in India, who has seen drama or this thing. So, but do kids? I mean, why? My question, Chandana, is, are when you're doing drama, some of these things are like real fun. But do audience watch this because you are mostly focusing on the stories which are ancient and which been there for years. So why did you choose that? And do you receive audience? And
So, this question was always there because drama is one format which is dying out. Yes, there are a lot of people who are also running theatre acting classes, and there are colleges also, institutes for it. But kilometers to go and watch a drama. I don't think that happens anymore. And that's not probably something that I would expect. But I would still say that, when we started, I thought these dramas would just be watched by children. But then I started to see that a lot of adults also are watching it. So then I started to change the way I write the dramas from the second drama. And it was very important from the beginning to bring a current relevance to whatever we do. I think that is what grabs the audience. We have about 800 people at least who come and watch us each time. And these are dramas which are about 1 hour 15 minutes long. So there is a gradual movement towards what we finally want to say. For example, if it's Narkasura vadh, we bring the whole thing towards Swachh Bharat as we conclude it. Or if you're talking about Bali Chakravarti and Vaman, then we would talk about service to the nation. Um, and recently also there was a drama which was a social retro where our focus was not really on slum children. Everybody knows about them, but the focus was on us, like it was on you and me, Ravi, as to what we can do for them. What we really tried to say is, Ravi, one day kids grow up, Ravi, and they are on their own. But the skill of parenting is still with us. And when kids are not around, I don't think that skill gets diminished, but it gets diluted somewhere. And if we can divert this skill of parenting towards those who need it, I think we will be satisfied. So that is where we were trying to talk about everybody having the skill of parenting and everybody being useful for slum children. So that's where we bring a current relevance.
True. So true.
That's how it goes.
So, for most of the organizers or people who are passionate about drama, so this is what happens. I mean, the sequence is you plan it, you work well, gather artists, and you execute the program. The drama or the show goes well. You get a lot of applause, and people go back. After that, most of us, or the event organizers, they basically see the photographs or videos, and that is the motivation when they look at the videos and photographs as to how it went, because while it was happening, your focus is more on organizing things, but how the drama went is mostly captured on a video or a photograph, and you don't get that opportunity to see it. So who's your eye to reiterate how exactly it happened?
I think I myself. I'm not saying this to be overconfident, but I myself. But at the same time, I think all the volunteers who are there, all the organizers who are there, um, they all are very excited about it. So when we all come together, they all talk to me. They say, "Chandana, this happened. Chandana, that happened." But I have a way of sensing whether something is happening correctly or not. So I have about 80% of the picture. The remaining 20%, yes, I think uh, one, of course, my father, as long as he was alive, we used to talk a lot about everything, what better we can do, what really went wrong. Then family members, and then very close friends who can openly tell me, Chandana, this happened this way, probably not something that was what we intended, but it was, kind of okay, but next time we should do better. So, and somebody would come and say, hey, this happened, it was fantastic. So that way, I think, yeah, it goes on. But I think I have my own way of sensing it, luckily.
Good. Nice that you are here. So, what are the future plans? What is that you're looking from our new friends? Anything that we can assist in. I definitely would love, once this lockdown is open. I would definitely love to have this drama organized in my own gated community. I want to experience it, how this is done, and I love the concept of doing this drama. We're slowly forgetting about the heritage. More importantly, most of these stories we might be aware of it, but when these tiny tots, some of the people within the community act, our own kids act, we showcase, we present ourselves, we enact somebody's character in that particular age, on that particular drama. The way event goes, the way event goes perfectly, the way event goes with imperfection, where we make mistakes and have fun, experience that. I think that entire event happens that because every member, there's somebody from each family member is participating. I'm sure that that is the best experience ever, which generally doesn't happen otherwise. Until unless it's a Sangeet, everybody is dancing. I don't think so. We have any other event in our life where we can experience this, where we are all participating, we are also, experiencing the event. So once the lockdown is over, I would definitely want to experience this. Uh, but what are the other steps you have? What are the other ways you're thinking of?
So, actually, one thing is that uh, I think for the past 5 years now, I've been into event organizing. This is an event called Prabhala Tirtham,
Hmm.
and this is from the East Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. It has been happening over there for the past 400 years, but somehow people um, outside the East and West Godavari districts are not aware of this event, though it is rich and resplendent with beautiful rural culture across various aspects. So the idea was to bring this to a multilingual community,
Hmm.
and I also took a part, a lead role in initiating this at Aparna Sarovar, and we've been doing this as an annual event for the past 5 years. It takes about 4 months to implement this event. My role in this event is that there is a team of about 150 members again in this kind of an event, also people hailing from different backgrounds. So, one is, of course, to be able to coordinate such a team. The second thing is marketing and sponsorships, fundraising. So each time this event happens, you see the event is the same. The product that we can sell to a sponsor is the same. But when I talk about it to a big brand, it is in a different way. When I talk about it to a medium business, the way it has to be projected is very different. Home entrepreneurs, again, very different. So what happens is this gives me the opportunity to market the same product in a different manner. I've been able to get Malabar Gold, Pride Honda, Harsha Toyota, Chennai Shopping Mall in my individual capacity, and also weavers and craftsmen from different interiors of India. So I think in terms of future projects, I have a lot of interest in terms of management, also in terms of marketing and fundraising. I really enjoy that a lot. The second thing I think in terms of future projects, during the lockdown, I just started this for fun, but then it looked like something that I really got passionate about. I started to write scripts which can be useful for web series and for serials. So I really was liking it, and I found out what exactly the format is to write the synopsis for such scripts. Because it's very important to understand the forum. If I'm expressing a concept in drama, I have to express it in a certain way. If the same thing is being expressed or something else is being expressed through a web series, it is a completely different forum. So the way of expression changes. So I started to write scripts like that. So I would like to take script writing also into the future in my projects. Yes, that is what I am planning, Ravi.
Superb. So yeah, so friends, anybody who's looking for or planning for short movies, and they have they need somebody who can help on a nice script. Yeah, so do connect with Chandana. She can really help you out because she's learned and she's experienced in writing the script, and you can definitely check that out. So good, nice, Chandana. So nice having you here. So we also have some questions because we want to know you well.
Okay, now I'm scared.
Okay, what is something that everyone looks stupid doing? I mean, you have so many people of different ages who are acting for you on the stage.
Mm.
So, what's something which everyone looks stupid doing on the stage?
Um, I think sometimes when they have to show that they have to eat a lot,
Hmm.
uh, and they're poor things, they don't really get real food. They just get all kinds of paper balls and all as laddus to eat. So that probably looks a little funny. But I think the kids are very smart. I think that really, I think we have not really gone into that. But sometimes when they really have to make very weird expressions, yeah, sometimes it's a little funny. Or at their age, if they really have to show that they're being a little romantic, that looks a little stupid sometimes. Yeah. But I think they are very smart, so they manage it well. Finally, on stage, it goes well.
So good one. So now the next question is about one of the things I'm showing on the screen. This is one of the things which you're working on. It's called Yum and Hum. So can you talk a bit about this?
So Yum and Hum is actually a finished product. It's my book on vegetarian recipes. This is available on Amazon, Flipkart, ShopClues, and also on my publisher's website, Blue Rose Publishers. So basically, I'm a foodie myself, Ravi. Are you a foodie, by the way?
Yeah, yeah. Anytime.
That was my chance to ask you a question. So, um, see, what I always felt is, and what I've heard from foodies is that whatever we, cook at home or whatever is by and large available at restaurants or, during functions when we have a nice widespread of food, I think is just not enough for a variety. We always look for something new. We always want something new. And I think that is where this book can play a key role in three aspects. The first thing is that 80% of these recipes are original and 20% are regional.
Mhm.
The second thing is that, hey, do I have to be an experienced cook or do I need any specific gadgets to cook this? No, not at all. You can be a fresher at cooking, and even experienced cooks will find it interesting because my original creations also can probably be useful. And the third thing is, be it a regular meal or a glamorous meal, at every course, you will have something new to serve to your family. And given this Corona season, I think everybody is cooking new varieties at home. So it can be an ideal gift also to your loved ones. I mean, at this point of time, even if somebody would gift me very nice clothes or a handbag, I really don't know what to do with it. I would definitely treasure it, but I think it could be a good gift, actually.
Good one. Yeah, nice thought. I agree with you. This is the time where everybody is spending more time, has got more time to work on cooking skills, and this book should be a good gifting option. For your own spouse or for yourself if you want to try. But where did you get this marketing skill? You're really good at marketing. So this is my next question.
Oh, thank you.
You're able to convince kids, this is the role you're able to convince elders saying that this is the role you can do. You're able to get sponsors saying that, hey, I want you to sponsor, this is the drama you should sponsor, and you have so many audience. So where did you learn all this?
I think the first and most important in being able to convince is you should mean the well being of the other person. We have to find the correct time and space, and their intent has to be fulfilled as well in this. So, I remember my father once told me that when you do community events or when you're doing any kind of a task where a team is involved, then two things are very important, I think. One is everybody should have the feeling that there is equal opportunity for me in this, or there is the opportunity that at least I need in this. Second thing is their merit has to be shown in the correct way. So we have to spend time in understanding what the sponsor really is looking for, what his interests are. Does he really want himself to get promoted in terms of, using technology and making a lot of posters for him and floating it around, or does he really want a good deal of space? And what kind of people is he really looking for in terms of customers? Um, and if I know, I have actually encountered times when a sponsor probably would say, "Okay, ma'am, I'll sponsor this much," but I tell them, "Hey, no, 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 you're doing this for the first time, so don't really pay us that much."
Mhm.
Um, and when it comes to children, I think when we talk to them, when we spend time with them, when we talk to coordinators, when we get to know, what their ideas in terms of skill set is, and what their ideas in terms of, sometimes they have a very emotional way of looking at things, and it could also be the right way of looking at things at times. So we have to talk a lot to people and listen a lot to people, a lot of passion to be able to ensure that systems are motivated and to be able to convince them. I think so.
Good, good. So next question, what is the most embarrassing moment from high school?
Embarrassing moment from high school. I think there was a time when you see, I grew up in Calcutta. My high school time was totally in Hyderabad, and I wanted to have a dance with a Bengali song.
Mhm.
So I called a lot of girls, and I taught them how to do the dance. And the very overconfident person that I thought I'm anyway choreographing it. I don't have to dance along with them. So I had I had 8 people standing in 2 rows, and I had to stand in the front center. And when we were actually dancing on stage, I realized that I had no clue of what I was doing. So everybody else was dancing perfect, and I, who choreographed the dance, was doing probably the most stupid thing that I could have done. So I, I think that happened in high school, yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens, choreography, when you're doing choreography, or, when you're organizing event, your focus is more on the event, who's doing right and all that, and less on, our own self.
Yeah, as they say, when you point a finger at others, the others point on ourselves. So, yeah.
So, what would you wear on your head that would make people stop and stare at you and say, wow, amazing?
Yeah, are you talking about the materialistic one or the
Mat-
abstract one?
Materialistic one.
Materialistic one. Um, I think I like my hair the way it is, so I would just the way I look right now, Ravi. I think that's what I enjoy the most. I like long hair, and I like to show that it is long and straight and neat. I think I just like it that way. That way. No, I don't do much with that. I think I like to wear different kinds of clothes, but
Mhm.
with the hair, I don't really do much. The way it is, it's fine.
You don't want to wear the hats, or those, what is those called? Some of these dramas you wear these kiritas. So have you
Oh,
walked with a kirita
well,
on?
I do that when I go to Surabhi Drama Company. I purposely do this. I'm a little sneaky at that time. I just tell him his name is Fanigaru. So I just say, Fanigaru, I want to try this crown. I just want to see whether really the feel of the queen would come, really the feel of the goddess would come. And then I wear it. I purposely do that. I wear the jewelry, and I try all of those things. Yeah, I love to do that. If I can wear a mythological attire, yeah, I'm willing to try a lot of things. Yeah.
What is the weirdest thing you've done in somebody's home when you went there as a guest and you did something weird?
Actually, See, right now I'm sitting in my brother's house. Okay, so in every drama, we shift all the props and the settings before. I mean, one day before the drama, we just keep all of these things in their house. So on the day of the drama, we come as a team into the room where these props are there. We have a checklist and we put these things right next to the stage. So basically, my brother and his family, they were all outside, and I had the keys with me. But then my sister-in-law said that the door will be open, the cook will be there at home. So I was talking to my friends, and instead of getting into the block where she lives, we got into the next block, but into the same flat, the same numbered flat.
Okay.
And we were seriously talking. I thought it's my brother's house. I opened the door. I got into the center of the hall and I was talking. And I was continuously talking. And then suddenly one of my friends said, "Did your brother and sister-in-law change the interiors?" And the lady who actually was the owner of that house came out of the bedroom and she was watching us. She had no clue of what was happening. I was behaving like as if it was my house. So, and my friends were also wondering why somebody else was there in my brother's house. Who's this new lady? So then we actually understood we got into the wrong house. I think that is the weirdest thing probably I've done in somebody else's house.
Should have been shocked for a while.
I think I did my marketing there also. Before I left, I did say that we have a drama in the evening. Please do come.
Good one. So, what is the funniest character of all your dramas?
Funniest character of all my dramas. So we did a drama in Telugu. It is called. We didn't really give it a title. There is this astrology format. As a Telugu, you would also know Sodi. You have this lady coming and saying Sodi Sabutanam, Sodi Sabutanam. So there is a person who's badly affected by his wife.
Okay.
And that's why he calls Sodama and he, is asking, he just asks her to just look at his hand. So she just goes on and on revealing so many things about how he's badly beaten by his wife in various aspects. And the kind of expressions that this character gives, actually he gave it by himself. I didn't have to direct him. So I think he was the funniest character. Yeah.
And who played that role? Who was that famous personality who could do that so spontaneously?
My brother. I didn't want to really boast about my family members, but it's my brother. Yeah, I think he was the funniest. I think, but I think amongst children, there's this boy who had to play the role of Shukracharya, and when his eye was getting poked, then he had to make being such a veteran guru of the Rakshas dynasty, he had to jump saying ouch, ouch, and it had to be really spontaneous. So when he did it in the practice session, all the kids burst out laughing. So I think he did a fantastic job. Yeah.
Good one. What is the scariest movie you've seen?
Scariest movie. I don't remember the name of the movie correctly. Probably it is called Sixth Sense. I'm not a very big fan of English movies, but my friends motivated me a lot in college to watch it. So I think it's a movie where a child can watch ghosts in thin air. So I think for the next 6 months, I was in some kind of an illusion. I was watching things in thin air. So yeah, that was really scary.
So we're done with the rapid fire questions, but with this experience, you're into organizing, you're really good at social aspects of fundraising and a lot of other stuff. I mean, you've got a lot of skills which are like coming out while we are talking. I mean, in like 40 minutes, I could see many talents within you. So do our friends here. So, what would you do if you become the chief minister with all these skills?
I think I'll use the opportunity, lightly speaking, I'll use the opportunity to sell my saris at a multiplied rate. But taking your question sincerely, of course, people are fortunate that I'll never be the CM. I have this a feeling that before I even start doing anything, I'll appoint, consciously appoint a very good team of advisors and a very good analytics team to give me good reports that have, that have a good basis. But I think one program which I would like to take up is that I've heard that there are millions and millions of villages in India which have not seen the face of electricity, and it would take generations of governments and budget plans to get electricity to such villages. I mean, some villages, yes, we can get electricity, but some apparently it is very difficult because budgets will not permit. I think a program where solar plants are installed in such places will help because I think more than the light of a candle, light of a solar lamp is widely spread and is brighter. So, in these kind of villages, because there is no light, no electricity, lots of children don't find enough time to um, study for their exams. They don't get to study after 6 o'clock. So they end up becoming dropouts. Now they don't have to become dropouts if solar electricity is there. People can, those who are shopkeepers, vendors, service providers, they can continue to produce or sell for a longer period of time. Thereby, it actually ends up into better standard of living because there is a better income. And I think socially, culturally, and also economically, it's an inclusive program because this will be useful for all sections of the society. And indirectly, they'll be a part of our economic system in a better way.
True. Very true. Rightly said, Chandra. No doubts about it. I think what we should do is each CM should adopt one village from the other state to get them motivating as to why the other states are supporting our own states villages, remote villages. I think that's the way to ignite this. But good thoughts,
Yes.
good thoughts, and good clarity of whatever you're saying, Chandra. I mean, I'm glad that we got connected. We are friends here, and I got this opportunity to also introduce to a larger friends group. So all the best with whatever you're doing, and I would love to order this particular book and gift it to my spouse, and I would also share the link where our friends can also buy this particular book, and also we would love to see the dramas which you're organizing. If there are some videos of the dramas which happened, if somebody has got a shot, I mean, could record it and all that, we would love to see. And also we would try to spread the word out that some of these events should take it forward, not only because Chandana is doing it. Yes, we would like to see how Chandana is organizing it and how this is going, but we still want to retain this particular culture. I think more than the digital platforms, we would love to spend money and time and that engagement as a family. We are watching and we are viewing this particular drama in our communities. I think all the gated communities in the city or across India should do these events at least once in a year to maintain the culture and make it more eventful. So you're doing a great job in terms of this. I love the idea of drama, and I love the way you're organizing it and creating a lot of bonding within the gated community, because all this activity relates into a stronger bonding, especially communities like Aparna. They are like large, thousands of families are staying together. So it needs a lot of bonding, because the larger the society, larger the issues we have within. So some of these events fizzle that out, makes it easy, and makes people together, gets people together. So all the best in whatever you're doing. So any message you have for our friends you want to say before we end this particular show?
I think in today's date, the message is very common and clear. It's about stay safe. So, um, I think governments and locally also resident associations are taking a lot of time from their from their lives, and they are trying to help us out to stay safe. So let's also individually be a part of this, and let's come forward with new ideas, so that we always have something new to care, new to share about.
Sure.
Yeah.
So thank you, friends. Do follow Chandana, encourage her in whatever she is doing, and we will share the links below where you can see her work. Also, buy this particular book, and I'll connect with her if you're planning for some event in your community. Do get in touch with her, because that will really encourage. And if you're planning for a short film, she's there to try write the script for you. And anybody looking for an RJ, I think I'm just impressed with the way Chandana speaks. So yeah, she can do an awesome job if you're planning for an RJ. So
Would just like to add that also doing sales with social distancing. Subinakriti Selections, my business. I'm doing Opada silk saris and a business, and anybody interested can always contact me. Thank you.
my wife is seeing that, so first I think she will contact you.
Well,
So,
I don't mind men going bankrupt at all.
yeah, yeah. Most of the shopping I do for my wife. So, I pick the dresses and all that. And she, whenever she buys some traditional stuff with a culture, I give the
Yeah,
opportunity to her pick and choose. So, you're doing a great
yeah,
job by
great.
taking the tradition forward, Chandana. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me in your show, and really appreciate your efforts and your back-end team as well. Great going.
Thank you. Thank you, Chandana. Take care. We'll meet pretty soon.